I have a question for my independent females in their 30s that are bosses. Do you think it's materialistic or high maintenance for a female who makes a certain income to want a man who makes the same income? I was having a conversation with one of my friends and they were talking about said girl and he said, oh, she's high maintenance and it's all about the money and she's kind of a gold digger and blah, blah, blah. And I said, what do you mean? She was just ending that relationship because the guy made, let's say 25% of what she made. And he said that that's materialistic, but she provides for herself. So I guess in my perspective, because I'm in a similar situation and I don't really want to date a guy who makes less than I do because our lifestyles are a lot different. And then on top of that, I like the man to also be the provider a bit there. And if you're financially paying for the dinners and the trips and everything like that, or he can't go, it's quite emasculating. So what do you think? I'm curious to hear your guys' feedback. I think this is an ongoing struggle with a lot of females in my group because we're all in our 30s or maybe even 40. And we've girl bossed so hard that we're kind of at the point where you have like less than 1% of men you can date after you're looking in your income bracket, single men, and then physical attraction and chemistry. You literally have less than 1% of men available. So let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to hear. I don't think it's high maintenance or materialistic, but I've heard, people tell me that I should not lower my standards, but change that standard. And then after hearing somebody talk about this girl and about how she's stuck up and almost like a gold digger, but I don't really consider it that because again, she provides that lifestyle for herself. It'd be different if she was making, $15, $20 an hour and she wanted someone who was a multi-millionaire. Then I agree. So let me know your thoughts. I need to figure this out and see how people think.
Something that I wish somebody would have just told me years ago, and I would have saved myself so much time in my dating relationship evolution journey, is that when you have trauma with men, right, whether it's emotional trauma or physical trauma in a past relationship or in your childhood, you will register masculinity and dominant men as a threat. This affects so much of what you're choosing and what you're unconsciously a lot of the times, right? And this was me. This is not me anymore. I'm in a relationship with a dominant masculine man who's connected to his heart, who loves to take the lead and take charge in a way that's serves us both truly. And that is what will happen with a healthy masculine who's connected to his heart, right? And I find this to be very relevant 9 times out of 10 when there's women that with love. I say this with love. It's always with love from me. Who are complaining about men not taking charge and men not if he just needs to take out the trash, right? I don't know why I do that with my nose, but it's a weird personality switch when I do. I don't know. He needs to take out the trash and he needs to whatever, and these men don't know how to be men anymore. And okay, and so they do that, they say that, and 9 times out of 10 they're unconsciously registering dominance in a man as a threat. And so this will show up in a very subtle way where it's women think it's harmless, and to be honest, it's a turn off to a masculine man. When you have this wall up and you have what I like to call resting base energy, right? So it's you kind of have this part of you that tests men, that's a little combative or difficult with men. And as a result, you kind of challenge their masculinity. And when a man's not invested in you, when a man's not interested in you, he doesn't see this as a challenge. He sees this as annoying.
I stopped it a little bit early, but she was definitely cooking. You're not a challenge to men. You're just annoying.
These men are acting like they're in elementary school, and they're being asked to catch up because they have not progressed. Sitting in the same class is not going to make sense. We all know that a 5th grader does not have the same knowledge as a college-educated student, and they refuse to catch up. The only thing left is to leave them behind. So when people are not understanding these movements, like the 4B movement, movements that do not include men, it's not because women hate men. No one hates you because of what you have between your legs. Women are no longer tolerating remedial level men. And women have gained the confidence, education, and income to not need a man. And that very fact hurts a lot of men's feelings. And so they say, oh, you hate men. But less about your feelings. Either men become better human beings, or women are just like, I'm good.
No, it's because women are literally saying that they hate men.
I think that there are a lot of women that want men that they're not qualified for.
Sarah.
I do. And what I want you to do is I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You cannot use 7. Where do you rank yourself? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically. What number do you have? If you haven't been to the gym and you are 75 pounds overweight, do not give yourself an 8. Do not give yourself a 6. If you do not feel good, if you have low energy, if you know you ain't talked to God in 10 years, don't you give yourself no 9 on a spiritual level. If you are a 4, don't ask for no 10. If you are a 5, don't ask for no 10. If you are a 6, don't ask for a 10. We have to be so self-aware with ourselves and where we lie on this thing, because a lot of us think that we deserve something. We feel entitled to something that we really don't have coming.
I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men are no longer interested in dating. They give up on dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that is the case?
As a white American woman, I will no longer be dating white men. I'm looking for anything other than a white man. Okay? Just a heads up.
Oh dear, unlike you, I love to get me some of those hot white men.
So let me get this straight. If a woman steps out in her relationship because she's not getting her emotional needs met, it's his fault. And if he steps out because he's not getting his sexual needs met, then it's still his fault. Can someone make that make sense? The way that so many women will rationalize their behavior, and it's not like that because she wasn't getting her needs met, but because a man needs his needs met sexually, it's different. And I don't condone cheating at any point, but is it really a man's fault if he steps out in a relationship after he's gone years and years without any kind of intimacy? And I'm not just talking sex. I'm talking about hand holding, a back rub, being emotionally connected, somebody that wants to step up and take care of him. He is grinding every single day. He's trying to show up with flowers. He's trying to plan the dates. He's trying to bring back romance, but all of a sudden she's checked out. And yet that's still his fault. And this is just another perfect example of how women will use equality where it benefits them, because if you really wanted to be equal, then his needs would also be equally as important to yours, but they never are. In a relationship, if the woman's needs are not being met, then it's grounds for divorce. But if a man's needs are not being met, then it's no big deal and he has to suck it up and deal with it. Women will always use the argument, oh, we told him several times before we decided to get a divorce. But how did you talk to that man? Was it passive aggressive? Did you intentionally withhold sex as a punishment? Then you can't understand why that man stepped out or why that man felt comfortable enough to open up to somebody else. We talk all day long about the needs of women, but we never talk about the needs of a man. Because why is it that women's needs and their emotional capacity and all of this household labor and all of this mental load that women want to make up, we never stop to think about, what about his mental load? What about his financial stability? What about his mental stability? You guys never check in with him to wonder why he's picked up an alcohol problem, or why he's staying out with the guys too late, or why he doesn't feel like talking at all. Maybe that man is showing you through his actions because his words don't matter. Every time he talks, it's used against him. Or every time he tries to tell you that he is missing that piece of intimacy, you throw it back in his face and you bring up something that happened 3 months ago. And he goes through this for years. So then when he steps out, because he's in a loveless, sexless relationship where he's unappreciated and all of these things, and he feels less than every single day, is he really at fault? Okay, bye.
The real recession indicators when my homegirl invited me to this dating event in Charlotte. When I went to the site to look at the tickets, the women's tickets completely sold out. The men's tickets widely available. Like 90% of them were not sold. Can't even afford to take women out anymore.
This might be the dumbest take I've seen so far today. Where did you get the correlation that because men don't want to pay to go to a dating event where they're more than likely going to get rejected by a woman that don't want them, that they cannot afford to take a woman on dates? More than likely, the type of men that women want are not spending money to go to these events because they already have the options. It's usually the men that cannot get dates that they are hoping that will spend their money to go there so they can profit off of them. And of course, the one person that left this comment on your video, which made sense anyway, that's the one you respond to try to call out. Most men are invisible to most women. It's not a feeling, it's a fact. And again, the type of men that will actually spend money to go to a dating event are the ones that already struggle with women. So if they already struggle with women and they know that, why would they then spend money knowing that the odds of them getting rejected are extremely high?
Guys, I don't think I can be in these modern day relationships because you're telling me that I have to care who my man is following, what pictures my man's liking, where he is, who he's with. I ain't got time for all of that. You know what I do in my damn time? I go out to restaurants and eat in restaurants that I really want to try. I go on spa days on my own. I sit and relax and watch TV. I make mood boards. I make business plans. I practice DJing. I practice music. I don't have time to be worrying about what no man that I'm talking to or dating is doing. Anytime that I'm not doing anything, you know what I am doing? Focusing on my peace and mental well-being. This is why I'm glad I'm in my 30s. Because you won't never catch me stressing myself out over no man ever again. Girls in your 20s, when you get to your 30s, you ain't even going to care if he's cheating. You're just going to want him to leave you the hell alone. How do you girls do it? How do you be watching what your man is doing all the time? How do you be stressing yourself out?
They be doing that type of stuff because they really don't have anything else to do.
In Rihanna's shoes, I wouldn't marry A$AP Rocky either. How would it be in her best interest? If I'm a billionaire and my boyfriend is a thousandaire, no shade.
So let me get this right. Rihanna has more money than A$AP, but yet she doesn't have to get married because it doesn't make sense financially. But then y'all would be the same ones if A$AP was a billionaire and never married Rihanna, who could be a millionaire while A$AP is a billionaire. Y'all would say he's a trash man. So let's circle it back once again. The biggest topic is let people talk and they will expose their hypocrisy. This would be a perfect example of y'all being hypocrites. Since the woman has the money, a lot of you understand, well, what's the point of getting married? She has the risk of losing things. But then when people with money and or when men just bring up this talking point, all of a sudden, oh, you just want to be outside, you want to be in the streets, it don't make sense. But when a woman is in the shoes and the woman is doing amazing things, all of a sudden y'all understand what men have been saying for the longest.
Y'all gotta start being real and upfront with these dudes. I can't do it no more. While I was talking to this dude a while back, and he was talking to me if I were to have a kid with him. If I were to have a kid with him, the first kid would be a junior. And I was like, no, I wouldn't have a kid with you, one. But two, I'm anti-junior. I don't do juniors. Kids should have their own names and their own, identities or whatever. And he was like, to continue my legacy. What legacy? Like, come on, be for real. Legacy. Legacy of what? Not doing shit? We talking about some funky ass legacy. If any legacy the kids should have, it could be from me. I can't even get my words out. So it's re-irritating me. Talking some legacy. Legacy of being a fun. Like, let's talk about some legacy. Spell legacy, please.
Why are you talking to bums knowing that they're bums? That doesn't make any sense.
I haven't actively been posting these past couple months, but you know what trend really annoys me is when a woman comes on here and she's like either married or has a boyfriend, and she'll like take her phone out, film the boyfriend doing something that is either selfish or basically weaponized incompetence, post the video, and then when people start to comment and drag the boyfriend or significant other, she'll make another follow-up video defending the man. Did you want us to say something or not? Because you took out your phone, posted the video, posted a caption, and then waited for the views to roll in. What was the point? If you knew the hate he was going to garner, did you want to expose his behavior or not?
And then be mad when your man don't protect your feelings or care about them.
My biggest problem in dating these days are the guys that I like don't like me, and the guys that I don't like me, of course.
Is it me, or is some of the girls that post about female empowerment and lifting each other up, you know, just empowering other women, right, on their social medias, or, you know, they're talking about this on their page? Is it me, or are they some of the nastiest girls and the rudest people you've ever met? Because
the reason you don't trust men is because you don't trust the patriarchy. Hi, my name is Nisha. I'm a liberatory life coach. And when my clients come to me and say they have trouble trusting someone, I always reframe that to, you can trust people to be who they are. And this is also true for systems. Patriarchy has proven to us over and over and over again that women are inferior to men, even in sometimes the most evolved men. The system wants you to think it's about individual men. So you wonder, like, okay, is he safe? Is this person safe? This guy didn't do this. This guy didn't do that. Instead of asking, how has this person, knowing that patriarchy exists, done the work to unlearn it within himself? Is he asking you questions about yourself? A man who's done the work is not going to get mad that you're testing this theory. Instead, he'll show receipts talking about therapy, feminism, showing what real accountability means. So stop asking, can I trust him? And start asking, can I trust that he has interrogated himself as he is related to the patriarchy? You being skeptical is not a flaw, it's simply research. I'd love to hear in the comments what you have done to notice if a man is unlearning patriarchy. And if you want more tools to support you, head to my bio. I have a really robust resource called The 7 Tools to Cultivate Revolutionary Relationships in a Dystopian World, and you will love it. Bye!
Oh, nothing to see here. Just some of these women out here ruining people's lives and experiences.
Nothing gives me the ick faster than a grown man searching for his missing vape, or a grown man sucking on his vape. Like, it's just a no for me, dog.
Can you name a single virtue of being a bikini barista? What about it is in any way virtuous?
I'm not going to answer that. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get out of that question.
Okay, so do you agree that Christians need to be virtuous, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
What are the virtues of being a bikini barista?
I never said that there was virtues of being a bikini barista.
But when you're asked specifically to say, hey, listen, it's not my problem that these guys over here, they all want to put their hands all over me. They can't, but they want to, and that's why I make extra money.
I mean, that happens when I have clothes on,
they're doing
too.
Something wrong. That's insane.
We can agree to disagree on that, but men want to do the same thing when I have clothes on too. I could be wearing a potato sack and men would still want to do that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, because men have sex drives. But if you're wearing a bikini, it is going to stimulate a man's drive.
Then that's
just like stimulate a man's sex drive.
Savannah.
Should I wear a hijab then?
No, you don't have to wear a hijab. Just like it's a man's job, it's a man's responsibility to control his lust. It's also a woman's responsibility, if she calls herself a traditional modest Christian, to not inspire lust.
I can never do online dating ever again, because when I had Hinge for like 5 seconds, I set my location to Atlanta, and when the guy I was talking to found out that like I'm not from Atlanta, I don't live in Atlanta, his response was like, oh, so what you looking for, a pen pal? Yeah, never again.
Yeah, I took a look at the comments and even women didn't get it.
I get.
Girls be like, I want a guy that's rich and smart and funny and thoughtful and tall, and he has to have a full head of hair and he has to work out. Like, girl, you got 4 baby daddies, live with your mom at 35, don't have a car or a job, and you definitely don't work out. Like, simmer down. And you're on food stamps.
Black woman, I need you to come to the front. I have a question. Am I crazy for saying I will not date a black man that dates white women? And I'm not saying like you can have never dated a white woman. I'm just saying if you continuously date white women more than you date black women, I don't want to date you. And I feel like I've run into this issue my entire life. Like, I went to a PWI. I grew up in like a white suburban area. Like, I am very familiar with black men that want to date white women. But through my experiences and seeing The patterns that I see from Black men that date white women, I just know that that's not for me.
Another day, another silly take, another hour without accountability.
As a PSA, I'm not saying this as a pick me, but I'm gonna need y'all women to tighten the fuck. And I'm not talking about the women that be having the boundaries and the standards. I'm talking about the easy woman. Why are you being so easy to these men? These men will literally kiss the ground we walk on. Okay, like, I'm not lying to you. There's no reason for you to be so easy to these men because they think it's easy access now. You letting these men walk all over you, and now these men think that they could walk all over any other female. This ain't that over there. We ain't doing that. We strict as over here, and I don't care what anybody say. And y'all be the baddest females. Y'all be cute as what the f y'all letting these easy walk all over you for? If you want him to pay your bills, tell that nigga want him to pay your bills. You gonna respect yourself in the process. I'm not saying yourself, okay? I'm just saying let that nigga pay your bills, but make sure he working for it.
And you see how she had to correct herself there at the end, because that's exactly what some of these modern women are doing.
Hey guys, it's Eve, and I'm talking to the real men out there. I'm still hopeful. This is Eve Date serving up modern dating tips. Listen, a lot of guys are tired of dating right now, and that's exactly why this is your opportunity. This is your chance. It's like a hot job market. While others are giving up, you show up. There's still plenty of amazing, hopeful women out there waiting to meet someone real. And if you're willing to put in the effort, to practice, to grow, to show up with intention, you'll be much closer to meeting them. So don't lose hope and take advantage of this opportunity.
This is a fair take, so a couple of things on this. For one, what is meant by planning a date? That doesn't mean that I, as the person not planning the date, am not giving any ideas. So when my boyfriend and I went to have our first date, beforehand he asked, what kind of foods do you like? And then I think I responded, oh, like I enjoy Italian food a lot, that's great. And so he planned by picking the restaurant and then setting the time for the date and then checked if that would work for me. So that's the planning. It doesn't mean that he's coming up with every single idea, driving us out there, making the reservations, etc., with me not giving any input, any communication. And then another thing I'll note, some people actually really enjoy planning dates. So for some people, it might feel like a bit of work to come up with ideas, but there are some people that don't view it as a great burden or heavy work.
So planning a date, from my perspective, is literally just as simple as picking an activity and then setting it up and locking it in.
But you really didn't do anything. He came up with the idea, you said yeah, you hopped in the car, drove, ate, and he paid. There's not really any planning on your part.
One thing I've never understood, and it's usually men who do this, is when I'm showing somebody my work and they go, oh wow, you're actually really good. Like, what do you mean actually?
Of course, here we go again, back to Victim Island.
How can I go from a God bless you, ma, like your man is mad lucky to have you, he don't let you have friends, to a nonchalant ass guy from another state? Like, I can't date New York men and then date something so afterwards. I simply cannot. So step your cookies up when you're trying to talk to me, because I go outside and they're creative with their compliments.
And when women say they don't cook for men, I be quiet because I will. Like, just act right and do right by me. Baby, I'm whipping it up.
I don't understand how it's frowned upon to like have a sugar daddy or like date for money or like date rich men, but it's not the other way around. Like when you date broke men and like you're struggling.
What do you mean, young lady? This is what I was talking about. TikTok? This is what I was talking about. You got girls in their early 20s looking for a sugar daddy, but you don't think it all the way through because you stupid. Okay? We just saw a 19-year-old get an 80-year-old, and we all just call him a stone cold, right? He was a stone cold, right? But then you got a girl on here, I don't know, she might be 22. Oh, that's such a difference in 19. No, it's not.
No, that has to be at least $500,000.
$500,000 for a wedding ring? That's
unrealistic. You could buy a house with $500,000. I'm not doing this for funsies. Like, I don't want a realistic man. I don't want, like, standard expectations. Like, I need Bill Gates. I need, like, billionaires. Like, I don't want to be with somebody where they can't just go out, buy a Lambo, buy a Bugatti, buy a Pagani, and it debt their bank account. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be with someone like Dubai rich. Because if they're not Dubai rich, then you're not. Peasants. So, peasants. Yeah. So $500,000 or I'm not even considering.
I feel like if I was a guy, like, I would pull, because literally all you have to do to, like, be, like, semi-attractive as a male is literally just have good style. Like, literally just put some baggy jeans on, like, baggy as jeans. Put on the shirt that's, like, a little bit cropped, like, above the waistline. Like a belt, maybe. Like, just sag your pants just, like, a little bit. Like, not, like, too much. Like, we don't want to see your whole ass crack, but, like, just, like, a little bit of sag. Throw some jewelry on, like, maybe a fitted, a beanie. Like, you, like, automatically, you got bonus if you know how to do your hair. Like, and you have, like, a good haircut and you just, like, look clean and you smell good. Oh, my God. Reek of cologne. Throw on a little chain or something.
I was going to say it because, frankly, it's a bit disturbing at this point. The amount of women that I see walking around, grown women, I'm not talking about little girls, walking around with these bubble skirts. I know fads come in and go out. And I know that everybody wants to be cute. And sometimes at certain periods of your life, you feel extra cute. You want to be a little extra sexy. And I empower you as an adult to do whatever it is that you want to do in your own space. When you're in your house, if you go to the beach, if you, whatever it is. Okay. But what I'm not okay with is me taking my kids to the mall and your hind parts are out. What I'm not okay with is us being at a park or walking down the street or just anywhere in a restaurant near food. I mean, when you sit, your parts are literally on the seat. It is not hygienic and it is not appropriate. Okay. There's just no nicer way to say this. Now, I've heard that some other ladies came out and they said some stuff and y'all came for them talking about the internet aunties always up in somebody's business and you need to mind your own business. Ma'am, that cannot apply when you are in the public eye. That is for everyone. If you don't want nobody to judge you when you look a certain way, then don't show them. Don't show them because you can't control other people. Okay. What you can do is control how you present yourself.
This man with a mustache, we'll call him Mr. Mustache Man. He's an actor. I don't know. I would say he was probably like an A- list actor at some point in his career. At the time, he was 38 years old. We were 19. It was around the 4th of July. And the 4th of July in Nantucket, for people who don't know, the beaches are packed. There's cops everywhere. Like, it's one of the biggest weekends the island sees. And Mr. Mustache Man, he and his manager were roaming the beaches. And I don't know if they were roaming for some college girls or what, but they found him. So they ended up finding my roommate on the beach and he sends his manager over and he goes, I want that one. So the manager comes up to my roommate and was like, hi, I'm with Mr. Mustache Man. He was wondering if he could take your number. Like, he's interested and would like to see you later. And my roommate was like, wait, that Mr. Mustache Man? And like, he's like in the back, like 100 feet behind him and he's like waving kind of. And he's like, yeah, that Mr. Mustache Man. And she's like, yeah, like she knew exactly who he was and was like, this is so cool. This is so exciting. And like, we're all around her being like, oh my God, you have to do it. Like, this would be a thick story. She gave him her number and he ends up hitting her up being like, hi, like, I want to see you. Please don't tell anyone. Like, I'm texting you, like, change my contact name to something else. Like, off the bat, he was being really sus and really sketchy. But like, for the plot, do it for the plot because this is just the beginning of the chaos that entailed. So anyways, my roommate's staying with me and she stayed with me all summer and she was like, okay, can I bring Mr. Mustache Man back to your house? My parents are at the beach and they're like, you can't have a party, you can't have a pregame, you can't have nothing. But I was like, but mom, like Mr. Mustache Man is here and like he's with his manager and we were just like playing beer pong in the back. And she's like, what the fuck? I thought it was with her because she knows exactly who this actor is too. Like, he's a pretty famous actor. They hook up. They're hooking up in my outdoor shower. They're hooking up on like the love sack in my basement. Like, they're right off the bat. Whatever. We thought it would just end there. This like little rendezvous with this little famous actor who is like a little bit older than us, but like not, I mean, the age gap was a little alarming, but it was legal, so it was fine.
Did you hear that? The age gap was alarming, but it was legal, so it's fine.
Anyways, they keep in contact. Like, he is FaceTiming her. He is texting her. He added her on Snapchat, which I'm shocked he even knew what the fuck was. But then he flew out to Boston, which is where I live, which is where my roommate lives. And he got a hotel for my roommate, and then they were hooking up there. And then she was like, okay, I'm going back to college. Like, this is insane. Like, I can't date this man. I can't like bring this man home to my parents. He's like kind of suspect and sketchy, and like she was going to be a junior in college. She had like college boys that she had crushes on too, that she really wanted to explore as well. And this is where things get interesting. She was trying to cut things off with this guy.
So now that she's been ran through, she wants to go explore other things with other guys. Fantastic.
Kind of speaking to him less, not picking up as many of the FaceTime, just like kind of letting things play out as one does when they're trying to get rid of a man. She gets back to campus and she starts hooking up with one of the seniors, and she like likes this guy a lot. And she's like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to ride this wave, cut contact off with Mr. Mustache Man. All of a sudden, we get a school-wide email. A school-wide email being like, Mr. Mustache Man is filming a movie on Union campus between these dates. And we were all like gobsmacked. We were like, there is no way that this man is filming a movie on our campus. So obviously she's like, oh God, like I'm gonna, like, the rumors had kind of been like flowing because, you know, things were getting documented over the summer. Like people knew on campus. It was a very, very small school. So rumors got out pretty quickly. And so when he confirmed that he was going to be on campus for this movie that was being filmed, everyone was like freaking the fuck out. He ended up coming to campus with a massive film crew, like cameras, production, like you name it. They were on campus just filming a movie. By the way, the sketchiest part about this whole thing is that the movie never came out. Like, we've never seen this movie. I swear that he just like did this just to see her and got all these camera crew and production, everything to come with him just to like make an excuse to like go on that campus. Cause like, why out of all the places you could film a movie, would you go to Schenectady, New York on a college campus that your ex-lover goes to? Like, it just seemed a little suspect. So anyways, my roommate, who's like, you know, a sweet little angel pie, like she's in biochem, like that bit at the library, in and out. And I remember he came and like everyone's freaking out, has their phones out, and he like plucks her out of the library and he like pulls her onto his lap, and she's like, oh dear God, like this is not happening. But after that, you know, like he was literally in the dorms. Like he wanted, like we almost brought him to the frat party. Like, that's where it was. And that would have been hilarious, but that didn't end up happening. But yeah, that was our story with Mr. Mustache Man. And honestly, I hope he's doing well. He was a really nice guy, really nice to me.
Yeah, so he didn't actually really do anything wrong. She just kind of shy from all of the attention that she was getting. She definitely wanted this as one of her trophies or stories that she would tell one of her granddaughters when she comes of age and she's visiting grandmother in the nursing home, sipping on some iced tea.
One argument that will never make sense is when a man will be like, but if it was a man that she liked and she was attracted to, she'd let him do that. Yeah, babes, I fear you're explaining consent. I fear that is consent. If I am not attracted to a man and I do not like a man, I don't have to sign off on behavior that makes me uncomfortable. Now, if it is a man that I find attractive and I like, and I'm consenting to him doing certain behaviors, that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. If a man shows up at my door randomly and I'm dating him and I like him, I'm going to be okay with that. If I don't like the man and I'm not attracted to him and he shows up at my door, guess what that is? Stalking. Because I didn't give consent to that. I feel like you guys are like losing people under arguments that aren't even real arguments. What are we talking about?
This is how slow some of these women can be. When unattractive men and attractive men do the exact same thing, that would be a double standard. Both of them don't ask. They do the exact same thing.
This is your PSA. Do not, if you're a curvy girl,
just spare yourself and don't go to Aritzia. It's not worth it. It's not worth your sanity, your mental health, your any ounce of self-esteem that you had left. Because I had a lot of self-esteem going in there. I'm now in the negatives. Like, I'm so serious. I had to just, like, set you up in chat because this is, like, actually crazy. And I feel like let me just turn my car off and, like, stay for a second. I feel like I share dressing room diaries and things like that I literally always say, like, I'm trying on clothes so that you don't have to. I went to Aritzia so that you don't have to if you are over, like, probably a size 14. Unless I just had a weird experience, they do not like the fatties. Basically. First of all, I go in, no one says anything to me, which I've been to Aritzia's before, and, like, that's not uncommon. For me, at least, they're talking to other people that are smaller than me, and, like, I usually just don't care because I'm like, I'm here to just, like, wear clothes.
Do you ever think that maybe they felt awkward because they really didn't have a lot of clothing in your size, and so they were like, who's going to tell her? Maybe, just maybe, they were trying to figure out how to avoid being plastered all over social media, which clearly and unfortunately for them, they were not able to do.
Okay, somebody just sent me this one. We got a divorce effect. Let's see it. Okay. All right. I see the potential. Okay, hold on. This the actor?
Be nice.
I'm finding it. Hold on. I'm finding it. Miss Lady, you must have went back to your husband. You must have went back, because ain't no after.
I'm not gonna lie, it is so funny to me watching men put two and two together, because men are starting to realize that a lot of these women are broke. And not just financially, like spiritually broke, emotionally broke, like everything about it is just broke. Cause like this dude said, like, when somebody really got it themselves, they don't go around dry begging because they just know they can do it for themselves. Like, I keep trying to tell y'all, as time goes on, the tricksters, they just evolve. That's all they do. Like, people that are scammers or tricksters or they try to blend in, they never truly change. They just evolve. So a lot of women have been adapting the talking points of certain kinds of women, trying to use the language, but deep down inside, them ladies not doing nothing with their life. And when you not doing nothing with your life, but you get online and start talking about, I want to provide a girl. Provide what, girl? Provide what, girl? You need to get back in school. Get back in school. Write that book. Do something, because the guys is figuring it out. The girls don't have no money. They don't plan on having no money. And their plan is for him to have the money. That's the plan. And they keep trying to shame men and guilt men into, like, oh, you ain't got nothing. You don't have nothing, sister. You don't have nothing, sister. I have been me my whole life, and I ain't never seen a man not want to do for a woman that could do for herself. I ain't never seen it. The women I know that really got it, they got it. And if they dealing with men, he see she got it, and he wanna give it to her too. But it's a group of y'all that's really like, it's giving dusty. I don't like that. I don't like that, because it's like, people that actually do hard things in life, they understand how hard it is to truly be a provider. Like, thank God I ain't no man. Whew. Thank God. I'm so thankful I'm not a man. But as a woman that actually does work hard in real life off of the internet, I can 110% tell you, I have a son. When my son get older, I'm letting him know right now, you are not nobody's daddy. You're not nobody's daddy. Don't be with no woman that don't care enough about her own life to invest in it and make something of herself because she want to do it. If you dating a woman and her come up is you, leave her alone. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Y'all, also too, and another thing, like, there's nothing wrong with being broke. You know, just eight years ago, I was broke. But while I was broke, I wasn't online trying to tell other broke people how they need to not be broke, and I wasn't doing nothing about my own situation. That's where y'all mess. That's what make it kind of like weird. Like, if your funds is not together right now, man or no man, you don't need to be online talking about nobody need to be a provider. You don't need to be doing that. You need to be going to your local college, your local university, your local continuing education, or jot down some. You need to be figuring out how you're going to get some money. And I'm not trying to be, money not everything, but so much of your life and the quality of it revolves around if you got some money or not. So how y'all broke and got all this time to be talking about people, I don't understand. When I was broke, I was trying to figure out how I was going to get unbroke. That's what I was doing. I wasn't online trying to shame men into giving me some of their money. Because it's still their money. It's still their money.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They don't have it. They're not trying to have it. Their whole plan the entire time was to trap a man and get what he's got.